Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to our service for Sunday, December 31st, 2023. And greetings to all of our online family as well. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're here to support your spiritual path, so please reach out to us in person or online. In unity, it is our tradition on the first Sunday after Christmas to name, acknowledge, then release the thoughts, actions, and beliefs that block our highest good. This is what we call our burning bowl ceremony, which is one of my favorites. It's the best. An Austrian writer, Rainer Maria Rilke, writes in his letters to a young poet, "Our deepest fears are like dragons guarding our deepest treasures." And I'm going to read that again. Our deepest fears are like dragons guarding our deepest treasures. Today, we reflect on the past year's events and milestones. Some are heartwarming at times, and sometimes they're also heartbreaking. Just as we hold the joy, we also feel the sorrow. It is what we are called to do. So today, we are so happy to have our beloved Nick Giovacchini with us as he guides us with this sacred ceremony, the Burning Bowl ceremony. Thank you so much, Nick. We are grateful. Now let's stand. That's right. Let's stand and join Julie Raggins, Curtis Bringle, Jeff Stockey, and Bruce Wayne to sing our welcome song.
Look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you, I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together.
please join me as we affirm our statement of faith? Together, there is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now let us unite our spirits as we hold this vision for our church. Together, we are an open-hearted spiritual community, powerfully transforming our world by honoring the sacred in all. And we practice this mission together, inspired by our shared spiritual awakening. We offer practical teachings that empower healthy, abundant, and meaningful living. Today's daily word reading is let go, let God. And the affirmation is, with a grateful heart, I bid the year farewell. As the year draws to a close, I reflect upon the joyful time as well as the lower points of the past several months. In a prayerful moment of contemplation, I feel gratitude as I accept all of it. I may have laughed and cried, celebrated and grieved, but I made it. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, I have met the year's events with faith and have grown resilient. Now it's time for me to let it all go as I begin to prepare again. I prepare to begin again. I take the lessons of the past 12 months, their joys and sorrows, and prepare myself for the new year. I let go and let God as I spiritually surrender my hopes and dreams and even my fears. I am divinely guided and infinitely blessed. I step boldly and bravely into a year that is mine to live to the fullest. And from Psalms 4:5, offer right sacrifices and put your trust in the Lord. And now for our gathering prayer, Armaya Brielle.
Good morning. So I invite you to take a moment and look around you at all of the beautiful faces and hearts of this amazing community. Some of us have been here longer than others, but it doesn't take long to find ways to connect with one another. It doesn't mean that we don't get tripped up or get triggered, but it does mean that we are willing to take a breath, to reflect, and to find our willingness to show up again and again with ourselves and for each other. What a gift this is. And this type of support, this community, really helps us to drop deeply into our most honest self and to reflect upon what is working in our lives and what isn't. Breathe. Closing your eyes in prayerful connection to yourself and the divine. Wait. What are you waiting for? Look. What are you looking for? Is there something in the way? Knock. Who's knocking at the door? Does it open from within? Are you ready to begin? Then let go, my friends. The beginning is in the end. Why you come to see is that you will always be. Trying hard to hold on, to change. What are you fighting for? Are you strong? You are strong. You are wise. You are patient and kind. Are you ready to begin? The beginning is in the end. Why you come to see is that you will always be. Then let go, my friends. Let go. Forevermore, we will be. Sometimes inner reflection and vulnerability can take our breath away. It's okay. You can take another breath. We do this supported by the divine and that we are together. Our gathering prayer this morning is an inspiration from a kirtan song written by Sam Garrett. Reflections of the divine are everywhere, and we are grateful, and so it is.
I hope the days come easy, the moments pass slow. Each road leads you where you wanna go. If you're faced with a choice, you have to choose. I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. If one door opens to another door closed, keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want to. Dreams stay big, worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. If you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same thing too. Yeah, this is my wish. I hope you never look back and never forget all the ones who loved you in the place you left. You always forgive and you never regret. You help somebody every chance you get. If you find God's grace in every mistake, and give more than you take, more than anything, oh, more than anything. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want to. Dreams stay big, worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. While you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same thing too. Yeah, this is my and my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. While you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same thing too. Yeah, this is my wish. Hey, this is my wish. Ooh, well, this is my wish.
Isn't that the best music that you've ever heard in church? Like, really, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning, y'all, and Happy New Year. Almost. In the book, The Alchemist, by Paulo Coelho, it outlines the story of a boy named Santiago, who, laying on his Bay of Hail bed at night in a farm in Spain, has a dream of treasure that he must go find. And of all places, the treasure is hidden in the pyramids of Egypt. So Santiago leaves behind the life that he has known, a modest life, in order to pursue that treasure. He leaves behind the love of his life. He leaves behind everything that is safe and secure in order to follow that vision. But that journey doesn't go as smoothly as he'd hoped. Along the way, the journey takes years and years and years. He gets caught in the desert. He has to work with mentors and people in search of finding the way to the treasure, seeking everything outside of himself in order to find that which exists in Egypt. He makes his way to Egypt only to find that the treasure that he seeks isn't there. He makes his way home and lays on that same bale of hay, dejected, questioning the journey, the entire journey, wondering why he even set out in the first place. And at night, he has another vision. The same vision as the one he had before. But in this one, he realizes that he was missing a key detail. I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil the story for you, but you should read it anyway. But in his vision, he realizes that the treasure he was seeking wasn't in the pyramids of Egypt, but it was buried in a sycamore tree right behind his house. The treasure that he sought all along, he went through the entire journey. He was laying on it before he even left. So today I want to talk about three things. The first is that the treasure that you seek is already yours. The second is that there are things that stand in the way of us seeing this as true. And the third is that to realize that truth, we have to move through these things that stand in the way of seeing that. We're also going to go through the burning bowl ceremony today. So while I'll be talking here a little bit, a lot of this, a bigger portion of today's talk, so to speak, is going to be dedicated to meditation for us to discover that treasure that we're seeking, that lies within ourselves. So the lucky news for all y'all is you don't have to listen to me speak that long today. The treasure that you seek is already yours. I want you to picture for a second that you leave Wimberley, you got to go to Austin. And it's like a busy day. You're driving down the road, you're stuck behind one of them 18-wheelers going down 12, you go through Driftwood, it's like, I think it's a 45. I go a lot faster than that, if I'm being honest. But you're behind a tractor trailer going 25, and you need to be in Austin on time. So you're like thinking about all the different sides that you can go around that tractor trailer. You're dreaming of seeing those dotted lines so you can pass them. And when you get to the city, it's just hustle and bustle everywhere. Everybody's out, everybody's doing something, and everybody has just got an edge on them today for some reason. But as you drive through the city, you know that you're going to a destination. And as you make it through that destination, we start to make it downtown in Austin. Maybe we'll talk like the west side of downtown Austin where it's a little quiet. A little quiet. Some of the places. And you pull in and you see a house that just feels a bit out of place amongst the rest of the city, amongst all the buildings that are going up like crazy. You park your car, you get out of the car, you go up to the door of the house. It doesn't seem like anybody's been there for quite some time. And you worry, should I enter? Should I go through that door? Am I going to get the cops called on me? But as you go through the door, even though it looks disheveled on the outside, you see a light shining from one of the rooms. As you make your way towards that room, you see on the floor that there's a little candle that's lit, that's burning, and that has been burning forever. And within that room, you notice that there is a sense of peace and quiet. That even amongst the entire busyness of the entire city that you were experiencing just a few minutes before, that you can also experience the quietness, the peace, and serenity in that room at that very moment. There's this concept in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which is basically like the philosophical underpinning for modern yoga. And in it, Patanjali talks about the lotus of the heart. And he speaks about the body, the thing that we walk around this earth with, as the city. The thing which is noisy. We have these thoughts that race through our minds. We have these pains that bother our bodies. We have the groans of our hunger. And as we make our way towards the room of the heart, we find solitude, peace, presence. And that within that heart, there's a place which transcends even the calamities of the mind at times. A place where, if you envision it in meditation, that between here, that you can close your eyes and envision the petals of a lotus flower unfolding. And as that lotus unfolds, you see the true inner light. The light that is always there, even though we cease to see it at times, or we forget to see it at times. And that as we focus on that in meditation, it expands, and we see that the trueness of all reality, the light of God, shines within our heart at all times. As I traveled over Christmas, I got back last night at 8. We were gone for about a week. Enzo didn't sleep at all, really, 3 of the nights. So I'd say over the last night I caught up on sleep, but the 2 nights before that, I think I was probably 7 hours total between the 2 nights. Just cutting some teeth. So I got back to Texas last night after this trip, and I was stressing a little bit about today. I was oh no, I got to speak tomorrow. But when we landed in Texas, it just was a peace. I'm home. And I went home, we got our dogs were barking, but we brought all our stuff in. I went to bed in my own bed, and I had that peace, that calmness. Even though there's things that are going on around us at all times, there is places of peace that are accessible to us at all times. It says that, also in this yoga aphorism, it says that the light which shines within the lotus of the heart is the light of the supreme heaven. And even so large as the universe outside is the universe within the lotus of the heart. Now, if that all sounds too complicated, too woo-woo, whatever you want to call it, I invite you to think of a line from my absolute favorite song of all time. And I'll preface it by saying it's by Leonard Skinner. And it's called Simple Man. It's my favorite song. And he says, all that you need is in your soul. All that you need is in your soul. We talk about God is, full stop, in unity. That God is everywhere, all at once, all the time, in everything. And that source does not cease to flow. That river is always raging. We may try to dam it up at times, But that river breaks right through that dam. And as I talked about the last time I was up here, the divine spirit is actively conspiring towards your good and the good of everything that is. Why then? If this is true, if what we seek is already ours, why do we have such a hard time actually believing that, of living that out on a day-to-day basis? Maybe we feel like it's actually coming to us. Maybe we do. But what stands in the way of us actually finding that treasure? Of us receiving our divine inheritance? Well, there are tangible things which stand in the way of us seeing that is true. It's just the way things are. We know that. And nonetheless, we do experience that all that is conspiring towards our good, that we can have faith that things are actively working towards us, that this lotus of the heart is something that exists within us that we can tap into at times. Even amongst all this noise, the questioning, we also have glimpses that confirm to us that that is true, that that is the reality. But more times than not, we forget that these small glimpses of faith, we forget the small glimpses of faith because they're clouded by the fear that runs our life on a day-to-day basis. Whether you call it fear, our perception, confusion, trauma, karma, really whatever you want to call it, those things stand in the way of us understanding who we really are. Busyness, the hustle and bustle of the city, trauma, the pain that we've experienced, and the fear that we have of experiencing it again. Our defense mechanisms, the things that we build up so that we can prevent ourselves from experiencing the same pain that we've experienced in the past. Confusion, the mixed messages we receive from and give to the world around us. And karma, the circumstances that place us in the very place that we sit today. But those things aren't the final truth. They mask what is true. They're illusions of separation. You know, to Enzo, I think I'm a giant. I think so. But a giant doesn't look itself in the mirror and see a giant. A giant doesn't know what is true of itself. And I know I'm not really a giant. Maybe we aren't really confused. Maybe there's not really things that are standing in the way, but maybe we just have a limited view of what all is actually true. And in that slice of that view, we forget what is the actual transcendent and whole truth. So how do we find a way to experience that transcendent truth, our divine nature, more regularly? How do we avoid what I refer to as spiritual amnesia? Of like being like, oh yeah, God, super connected, and then 5 minutes later, well, I should say 5 seconds later, completely forgetting that. How do we avoid that? How do we make it so that we can experience this more persistently? Well, to realize this truth, we need to move through the things that stand in the way of us experiencing that divine truth. Going back to the story of the alchemist, you know, even though that gold sat beneath him at all times, all those years that he was hoping and wishing for some better reality, even though that it was there the whole time, he still had to go on the journey in order to actually value the treasure which he found at the end of the journey. The journey that we go through, I'm convinced is the whole of the spiritual path. It's like really the thing that matters in our life. The results, the outcomes, all that, those things are great, but what is it without the pain, the suffering, the hope, the desire, all of it? What is it? The journey is just as important as the destination, if not more so. And the journey's, it's going to be difficult at times, you know? It just is. But that's okay. It's meant to be difficult. It's meant to shake us up. It's meant to make us feel all these things so that we can actually have something to compare our experience against. The highs aren't the highs without the lows. Pleasure isn't pleasure without the pain. You know, one thing that I had to work through a lot in my life, a lot, is that the journey, these things that are hard on the path, aren't things that need to be met with resistance. We don't need to fight the things that are facing us. Back, I'd say, let's say 5-7 years ago, something like that, I started listening to like a lot of books, reading books by like Navy SEAL type guys. Guys who'd be like, if you're running, your foot's falling off, keep running. I still got some injuries that kind of plagued me from putting that mentality on. And those guys would actually say like, keep going, keep working. But I had this like realization of this little two-word thing that I was gonna get it tattooed on my arm. I went to the tattoo shop, and I had the guy draw me up a tattoo, and I just didn't like the way he did the lettering, and I was like, come on, like I need to get this tattoo. It's what's going to make me realize everything that I need to do, right? And those two words were conquer self. And I thought that what I needed to do was basically, for lack of a better word, like beat into submission the things that were limiting me in life. If we don't have an enemy, there can be no war. And the things that face us, the challenges that face us, aren't enemies, they're teachers. They are our guru, our friend, whatever you want to call it. And when we look at them as that, rather than the things that are taking from us our precious whatever, we can see them for what they are, and it takes out a lot of the pain and suffering along the journey as well. We can't force them. Sometimes they take time. Things just take time. Sometimes you just got to sit with it. A snake is only ready to shed its skin when it's ready to shed its skin. And sometimes you just need to change the environment that you're in. I can sit in my little meditation room at home, which is also my office, so like it's tough to cut the two apart, but I could sit there and meditate for an hour. And I could be banging my head against the wall over and over and over again because I'm just not getting it. And I don't get that frustrated with myself now about it. Now I just kind of like, okay, today's not I got a lot going on in my mind today. But when, gotta go get Enzo ab. But when I get out into nature, when I actually just go for a walk, I used to do this on the Greenbelt in Austin, and I go without my shoes. People kind of look at me a little weird, so I try to go on days when people aren't out there so much. I just walk barefoot, and it hurts a little bit, but you get grounded. And when I would do that for 20, 30 minutes, I walk out of the woods, and I'm just at a completely different frequency. Completely different. Sometimes you just need to get out of the environments that we're in so that we can see things with a different perspective. Sometimes that's all it takes. Finn at one point said, and I think this was your teacher that taught you this, was that you're either in the way, you're either the way of God or you're in the way of God. I think about that all the time. I really do. It was a good one. So, I know you could pass it on to him. Just tell him. Give him the nod. Give him the nod. But what are the things that are standing in the way of us experiencing that divine flow? The Buddhists talk about these things as if they're confusions, things that confuse us from the ultimate reality. And they talk about, fittingly, as burning off confusions. Alan Watts talks about this concept of becoming what you are. There's a lot of things in our world that tell us that we are not enough, that we're lacking something, that everything's outside of ourselves. Actually, I would say the entirety of American society, in some ways, stands as an example of everything that we need to be is outside of ourselves. Everything that you need, all that you need, is in your soul. So what do you need to do to get out of the way? What do you need to let go of? What walls need to come down around your heart so you can enter that room and see that light that is always shining? So that you can be what you truly are. The light of the divine flow that is always flowing. Ram Dass talks about it as shining the mirror of our divinity. We might not clearly see it at times, but when we shine the mirror, we see it for what it truly is. As promised, that's all the talking I'm going to do today for the most part. And I'm going to move into a meditation by Ram Dass. And we're actually going to play it over the speakers, because I cannot do it justice. And it's going to be a little bit longer, so just preface with that. But I invite you as you're going through this to just be as present as you possibly can. Close your eyes if you need to, if you would like to. Ground yourself in your chair. And then I'll come back at the end. We'll talk a little bit more about the burning bowl ceremony. I'm actually going to ask Curtis to come up and play for me, and I'm going to read it. I think we might be having some technical difficulties. Beyond all polarities, I am. Let the judgments and opinions of the mind be judgments and opinions of the mind. And you exist behind that. Ah, so. Ah, so. It's really time for you to see through the absurdity of your own predicament. You aren't who you thought you were. You just aren't that person. And in this very lifetime, you can know it. Right now. The real work that you have to do is in the privacy of your own heart. All of the external forms are lovely, but the real work is your inner connection. If you're quiet when you meditate, if you truly open your heart, just quiet your mind, Open your heart. Quiet the mind. Open the heart. How do you quiet the mind? You meditate. How do you open the heart? You start to love that which you can love and just keep expanding it. You love a tree, you love a river, you love a leaf, you love a flower, you love a cat, you love a human. But go deeper and deeper into that love. Till you love that which is the source of the light behind it all. Behind all of it. You don't worship the gate. You go into the inner temple. Everything in you that you don't need, you can let go of. You don't need loneliness, for you couldn't be possibly alone. You don't need greed, because you already have it all. You don't need doubt, because you already know. The confusion is saying, I don't know. But the minute you're quiet, you find out that in truth you do know. For in you, you know. Plane after plane will open to you. I want to know who I really am. As if in each of us, there was once a fire. And for some of us, there seems as if there are only ashes now. But when we dig in the ashes, we find one ember. And very gently we fan that ember. Blow on it. It gets brighter. And from that ember we rebuild the fire. Only thing that's important is that ember. That's what you and I are here to celebrate. That though we've lived our life totally involved in the world, we know. We know that we're of the Spirit. The ember gets stronger. Flames start to flicker a bit. And pretty soon, you realize that all we're going to do for all of eternity is sit around the fire. At this time, I'm going to invite you all, as you come out of this meditation, to pick up your pen and your paper under your chair. And if you know the thing, it might be a word, maybe a phrase, maybe a person, maybe just a thing. But if you know that there's something that's placing that wall around your heart, something that is making it difficult for you to enter that place of union with the divine, where it feels like that inner light has been hidden, I want you to write that now on that paper. And if you need a moment, just breathe. Close your eyes. And just breathe. What is it? What is it that stands in the way of you taking the next step on your journey? Closer to your higher potential. Closer to realizing your divine inheritance. We'll take a few more moments to breathe. And today, after our announcements, I'll invite each of you to make your way back to the fireplace and drop that piece of paper into the fire. And do so knowing that you're letting go. And that the fire will consume that which you let go of. And from that, a new ember will rise from the ashes. One that can be fanned into a flame. A flame that will set you on a new path forward. And so it is.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. I think it was better in your voice, actually. I really do. Now, with grateful hearts, we put our abundance into action as we complete the sacred circle of giving and receiving. Let us take a moment to bring this truth into our hearts as we prepare our offerings and as our ushers come forward. And to our beloved online family, if this message supports your spiritual growth, please consider making us a part of your abundance practice. For all of our giving options, please scan the QR code on the screen. We thank you for the gifts you have sent already and affirm the gifts you are sending right now. And now let us offer this affirmation of abundance together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
There have been times you felt you could not raise your head. And all those lonely nights when you just needed a friend. And all those days go by, but the clouds keep rolling in. You're not alone. No, you're not alone. And all those times, everything you touched just turned to gold. There was nothing you could say or do that ended up wrong. Well, those days went by and the time didn't last too long. You're not alone. No, you're not alone. In the morning, in the evening, every day and in between. When it's raining, when it's pouring, when your grass don't look so green. The world might fall to pieces, but these troubles won't last. Just remember, brothers and sisters, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Oh, this too shall pass. When you just can't seem to find the words to pray, all your broken hearted dust is homemade. Well, he hears your prayers, he even knows your name. You're not alone. No, you're not alone.
thank you so much for sharing your gifts. Y'all are amazing. Let's bless these gifts together. We bless these gifts and the givers with our love and gratitude. Thank y'all for being here. And let us affirm from this holy instant the clear path and perfect manifestation of our new minister together. God's infinite love and wisdom now guide us to the right and perfect spiritual leader for our community. We let the activity of the one mind reveal this divine appointment as we unite in our gratitude for our new minister. And speaking of, mark your calendars and please join us on January 14th as we welcome back Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson. And this time, it's for as a candidate for minister for our sweet community. Following the service, there will be a meet and greet with her, and we will serve a light lunch. And, our prayers and our energy is working because, she wasn't interested in a job, but she came to visit us in September and was drawn and filled out the very lengthy the packet and everything. And so let's keep praying and sending that good energy out there because we are attracting good people. So please join us. It'll be really important. On Thursday, January 4th, we will be celebrating the life of our beloved Bruce Kingsley. The service will be held here at 2 p.m. in the sanctuary, followed by a reception in the fireside room at 3 p.m. Please join us as we hold Bruce's family and his beloved wife, Carol, in loving support. And Carol wanted to extend her gratitude to us for all of our love and prayers and lifting her up. And we continue to do that. Carol, we love you. Join us next Sunday for another one of my favorites, the Whitestone Ceremony. And this year, as we celebrate the new year, and it will be with Marge Barlow. She's precious. Ann Hollow wants to extend an invitation to all who wish to participate in the Adopt a Highway cleanup. Tuesday, January 9th, we'll meet in the kitchen at 8:30 a.m. Gloves, high visibility vests, and trash pickers will all be provided. We hope you will consider participating in this important community service. And I'm sorry I'm working. I always want to do this because it always feels so good. Like once you get there and you do that kind of thing, it just, so if you have time, come and join them. It's important work. A special thank you to our delivery elves who dropped off our holiday hams and other food last week. Thank you to Ann and Steve Ohlfelder and the Finn family. Thank you to Alice and Hannah and Betty Potts. And they're wonderful, all the things they do, and for leading the charge and helping us make 44 families' holiday a little bit brighter. That's right. Unity Book Study Group resumes Wednesday, January 3rd at 11:30, and Midday Reflections returns January 4th on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Our annual meeting will be Sunday, January 28th. After the service, everyone, especially voting members, are encouraged to attend. As usual, a light lunch will be provided that day too. As always, we are collecting crisis breadbasket food donations in our front foyer bookcases, and you can always send a monetary donation directly to the address listed on the screen. Please reach out for prayer and care support to the email addresses on the screen. Check our website event page, often for all of our upcoming classes, groups, events, as well as a list for all of our upcoming services and events. A reminder, the amazing R. Maya will be here to pray with you after the service, and our prayer request box and gratitude jar are on the fireside room buffet. And if you're visiting today, please consider filling out a blue information card located on the front foyer table so we can welcome you properly to our sweet community. After the service, please line up and file into the fireside room to release and burn your paper in the fireplace. And parents, please monitor your children around the fire. Okay, we only want the paper to be burnt. Are they ready? Now let's sing in our amazing children and youth of unity.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
Let's bless these children and youth of unity. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are. And that brings us to the close of our service. Please join us as we pray our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well.
I'll release